What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Sunday evening's Anfield Agenda news roundup, where Wirtz will be on a plane relatively shortly. He, of course, took part in Germany's 2-0 defeat to France in the Nations League playoff earlier on today. Now we will see things pick up. Over the course of the next few minutes, I'm going to let you know exactly where we're at with it. We're going to talk a little bit about Alisson Becker. And of course, I want to just remind everybody that we will be live tonight, 8:45, with the late night agenda, where hopefully we will have had the official here we go at that point. I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm going to ask you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And one more quick thing before we get stuck into the news. A reminder that we have launched an Anfield Agenda WhatsApp channel. It's absolutely flying at the minute, heading towards 2,500 people in there in just a matter of days. If you would like to join to make sure you get the latest updates, you can do so with a link in the description of this video, right? Let's start off with a little bit from Alisson Becker on his future, because he did give a bit of information here that I personally didn't know, so I just want to read it out to you. Speaking about his future, he said, "I have 1 year left on my contract," which again was a surprise to me when I first read this, but he goes on to say, "and then there's a club option. They will probably exercise this option," meaning that he has 1 year on his contract, and then Liverpool, of course, have the option to make it another year. So Liverpool have an option on an extension. He said, "I think for what I have in hand, I do a great job. It's a decisive moment in my career. When a World Cup is coming, they will probably exercise the option." So certainly doesn't give much away there with regard to the upcoming battle with Georgie Marmadashvili, if you even want to call it a battle, because Alisson's the best in the world, in my opinion. But like we've mentioned, Alisson will see out his Liverpool contract unless something dramatic happens here. And I'm really interested to see what does happen this season between himself and Georgie. My guess is we'll see something similar to Queeveen, where Alisson plays the Champions League, the Premier League, and maybe Georgie Marmadashvili plays the domestic cup games and perhaps one or two of the easier Champions League games. Right, so let's get into the situation with Florian Wirtz, because that's most likely why you're here. The other day I told you I'd heard a figure of about €142 million, and it looks as if that figure was right. There's two parts to this that I want to try and explain to you. One, what is and what isn't an offer. We're going to go through that in a minute, and you don't have to take my words for it. Let's go through the words of a German sporting director speaking about the situation and transfers in general. This is really important, because this is why you see the discrepancies between some of the English journalists, what I'm saying, some of the foreign journalists, and the reason being is what constitutes an offer varies from person to person. Let me read this out to you, and hopefully we'll explain it. So, this posted from Anfield Sector, credit to them. They say an old article explaining negotiations, including a snippet from a German director. Negotiations may take place in hotel lobbies, over the phone, on Zoom, or increasingly via WhatsApp. In many cases, it's only when the deal is close to agreement that a bid may be formalised in writing. And as one of the directors of a former German club explains, "I have lots of WhatsApps to negotiate, with only written offers being made when the terms are then expected to be accepted." So where we're at with this one is this, ladies and gentlemen. The €140 million, or the 142 to be fair, that I mentioned would be the price tag, is what we've heard from the German side of this. The club's media team being ready for the photos is what we heard from the English side of this. But our contacts for the deal aren't inside Liverpool Football Club with regards to the amount of money. So we believe that they're all playing catch up, like Paul Joyce, who's talking about a bid being rejected, where that looks likely to be a few days old. So we firmly do believe that at some stage this evening, you're going to get the nod, and the man will be on a plane to do his Liverpool medical. That medical will be booked in, or has been booked in, for early next week. Next week sounds a little bit dramatic here, because next week starts tomorrow. So what we believe is going to happen is he's going to fly in from Germany, where he's with the national team now. He's going to undergo that medical, which will take 2 days. First part of it being the medical stuff, second part being the unveiling, the media duties, and all the photographs that come along with these deals. Then he's going to jet off on holidays, and we will see him back as a Liverpool player on July the 8th, if my memory is right. So let's get into speaking about what others are saying about it. So Pippo Aaron said, "It is expected that the Reds will offer around €140 million when a package consists of transfer fee and realistic additional payments." On top of that, we have Lewis Steele again talking about £118 million deal to get it done, and that there are small details being ironed out, and that deal will be agreed. Even the Echo are in on board the Craig train at this point. They're saying The Reds had already seen a £109 million offer rejected last weekend. The Echo reports now that a deal closer to 115 million was wanted by Liverpool, but it's been said that a 118 million pound bid, which is about the 140 million euro I was mentioning, I said 142 million. So if you can hold me to account for the 2 million euro, but what's 2 million between friends, would be enough to get a deal done as talks continue, and he will be on the plane. So again, don't get stuck up on who said contract or not contract offer. An offer's gone in here, an offer's gone in there. These can be as simple as WhatsApp messages. It isn't as in-depth as everybody would expect. And then when you get an agreement, of course, you get the black and white paperwork that everybody has to sign with all the formalities on it. Christian Falk saying, assume both sides will agree on a fee of an amount of about 140 million euro, including add-ons. And again, it is just a countdown of time for this one. And the fact that he's got through both those games now with Germany unscathed, which he has, having lost both of them as well. But that's okay. We don't mind what he does in a German shirt. I think you're going to see him on that aeroplane relatively soon. I wouldn't be surprised that when we're back here tonight at 8:45, if you either know at that point that he's on a plane, or if we've already gotten the nod from whoever it is that makes you comfortable believing in this deal. Now, a little update on Milos Kerkez as well before we finish up. Again, nothing to worry about there. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the delay is in this one. I don't know, so I'm looking to others to try and help out on it. If you've heard anything, potentially maybe it's over the amount of a fee or something like that, do let us know in the comments section. But you've absolutely nothing to be concerned about with Milos Kerkez. There isn't going to be a hijacking of the deal by Real Madrid or anybody else. Also, Manchester City have got that deal done and agreed medical taking place as well for Ray and Aiton Yuri. He'll be coming in as their new left back, and they're looking at Tino Livramento. I'm trying my best to find out anything on the striker situation at the minute. Truth is, I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall with it. So I don't know if the confidence that seemingly is still there over Alexander Isak is warranted or not. I'm trying to figure all of that out. I'm going to be as honest with you guys as I always have been and say at this moment in time, I don't feel comfortable saying one thing or another. And another thing I'm trying to figure out for everybody is the centre-back situation, because again, that's the one that personally concerns me the most. We do know that Paris Saint-Germain and their sporting director are looking at bringing in a centre-back, but the name isn't Ibrahima Konate at the minute, but there's another one they're looking at, and that we're unsure of. So I hope it isn't Konate. I do hope Ibu agrees that extension. Of course, he's also now just finished at the Nations League, so he will be about to go on his holiday, and I would imagine more stuff will start to come out over the next few days on this one. So, ladies and gentlemen, a quick reminder, nothing to be concerned about. The 140 million euro, like we mentioned the other day, will be where this is all done and dusted, and then we will see Florian Wirtz flying in for his medical, possibly as early as tomorrow. So then, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from me for now. 8:45 tonight, we'll give you the very latest update on it. Thank you to everyone for joining us as always, and I would say, join the WhatsApp group. We've been overwhelmed with the response so far. Almost 2,500 people in there in about 4 or 5 days. So thank you to everyone that's joined up. If you haven't, remember, link in the description for that. We'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.